Hello, hello, hello. How are we today? Welcome back to another episode of Selena's Crafty Lab. And today we have got some amazing stuff for you to see. We're going to do a neat little thing, and that is we're going to be working with hats. This is right, hats. I haven't done hats yet, and I'm so excited to actually put this project together. This is such a cute little pink hat. I'm so excited. I can't wait. We're also going to do something we've done before, and that is sublimation. Yes, sublimation again on a black 100% cotton shirt. Now, we've not done it on black, but this time round we're going to do a different trick. So we're not going to use the vinyl that we used in our last project. We're actually going to use something that is new, something that I just recently learned and thought that's really exciting. I'm going to give that a go, and you know what? I'm going to do it on camera so that everybody can see this done. Now I need new shirts for the market, so we're going to do these new shirts for you, and we're going to be using sublimation. This is our neat little logo that I'm going to be applying to our shirt, but in order to sublimate this on, I need something for it to bond to, because 100% cotton, this image, it's just going to disappear in the black. You're not going to see it, right? So we have to find a way to make that apply to our shirt without using the HTV that is designed for cotton shirts. I got a little trick for you. I learned something new, and I'm quite excited to share it with you. It is called glitter. Oh my gosh, glitter. Everybody loves glitter. You can never have enough glitter in the world. Glitter is amazing. It brings joy and shine. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using glitter with our sublimation image, and we are going to put that on our black shirt. Exciting. You're going to be looking forward to seeing that. We are also going to be working with Puffy vinyl. Now, I've used Puffy vinyl a couple of times before, and not so successfully. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be using Puffy vinyl in this video, and hopefully we're going to get it right and we're not going to have any mistakes. But you're not going to know until you watch this video. So come with me and see if I can get this right. I'm excited. I know you are excited. We're all ready to do this. Let's jump over into Cricut Design Space and start building this project and putting it together. Let's go. Okay, so we are over in Cricut Design Space, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a new project. Now I'm going to start with the hat, so I'm going to click on the hat and customize. So you can see when the hat comes up, it actually comes up in separate little pieces like this. Okay. Now I'm just going to take it back. What I want to do is I want to keep all of my image here together. So I'm actually just going to attach it just so that I can make sure the monogram that I put in here is the right size. So we're going to go down here to monogram, and I'm just going to start typing in the letters Selena, S, C, Crafty, L, Lab. And we're going to have a look. We're just going to go through some of these monograms, see if any appeal. You can see there are so many options. You've got elegant. You can go through the elegant designs and find something that appeals there. And there's some really cute ones in here. You've got handwritten, you've got vintage, and then if you want to get really fancy, you can press the thematic button, and you'll see these images here where you can put the lettering and put designs in the background behind it. And as you can see, there's heaps, and there's things like you got your decorations, like little mandala. You got occasional, somebody say somebody's wedding, or you just feel like putting it inside a cupcake. Then there's interests, what people like, some butterflies, and sports. So as you can see, there is so many options when you are doing a monogram on whatever item you decide to put it on. But we're just going to go back to the classic view for this, and I'm going to stick with modern. And I actually think I'm going to choose this one. I really like the way these letters look. So I'm just going to go add canvas. Now with these particular letters, there's actually a few layers in it. So if I just go to my contour setting, you'll see that there are 1, 2, and 3 layers in this particular font that I've chosen. There are 3 layers. So what I'm going to do before we even get into contouring is I'm actually going to duplicate this, and that's just in case at any point I make a mistake. I like to have a backup one, so I'm going to chuck it to the side. So this is the one we're going to work with. I'm just going to position it on my hat, and I'm going to max it out because I really want to make sure it fits nicely. Yep, I quite like that. Now this image here is going to be done out of 2 materials. So our first material we're going to be using is glitter, and then we're going to be putting Puffy on top of that glitter. So what I want to do is I want to have my size, which is set here at 10.2, and I want to just change it from the color. Sorry, I want to change the color to, so this is going to be my glitter. Okay, it's going to be the dark one as the glitter, and I'm going to right hand click and duplicate that now. So I've got 2 in those 2 colors, and then this one here, this one here I'm going to change into my lighter purple. Okay, so I've got my 2, so I can work out my 2 colors. So I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to go down to contour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hide all contours, and what it's going to do, it's going to hide everything. Usually you'll find that there will always be one that does not hide, and that's because you're doing letters. They kind of keep that on. Okay, so what I want to do is, this has kept my back one, so I just want to collect that back one. Okay, so it'll be 1, 2, and 3 highlighted. So if I close that now, you'll see that's one solid color. Okay, and now we're going to go down to this one, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go contour, but I'm going to hide all contours again. You'll find that back one stays open. I just want the middle one. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that one because we don't want that one. So I just want this one, and this one. Okay, so those are the 3 that I want to keep, and I'm going to close it, and you're going to see these are my 3 layers that have been separated. So if I stack that now on top of that one, how cool is that? I really like that. I'm just going to move my hat for a second. I'm going to collect them all together, and I'm just going to go up to where it says align, and I want to make this fit perfectly and make sure I'm happy. I'm going to go center, so everything's all centered. I'm going to pop my hat back in place. I'm just going to have a look and see whether I need to edit that size at all. So I'm going to click on my image. Now you'll notice that these are 2 separate pieces at present. I'm going to hit the shift key, and then I'm going to press both of them, so it highlights both of them together, and I'm going to bring them out slightly just to make them fit a little bit better in my hat. Just want to max it out. That's better. Okay, I'm happy with the way that looks. Now I want to do this in 2 different colors, so I'm just going to move my hat to the side out the way. Now I'm going to collect these here, and I'm going to right hand click and duplicate. So now I've got 2 of them. So I'm just going to jump into my layers panel. I'm going to click on this one. This one here is my lighter color, which is going to be my Puffy, and I'm just going to change the color of that to the color Puffy I'm going to be using. And the second one down, which you're going to see the box move around the outside, that is going to be my glitter, and I'm just going to change that to the darker color, which is my glitter. So these here are my 2 that I'm going to be using on my hat. So if I duplicate this hat now and pop, whoopsie, undo that mistake. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it, just hit the back arrow. Okay, it's not going to affect your project. So collect them together and place that on my hat. Yep, I'm happy with that. We're going to do the same with this one and place that on my hat. Make sure I'm happy. that's awesome. I'm really happy. I'm just going to send my to the back so that my lines aren't in front. There we go. Right, so now we're going to go across and do our shirt. So we're just going to zoom out like so, and I'm going to go template, and I'm going to scroll down into my templates until I find the shirt that I want, and we're going to use this one here. So I was going to tell you it's just a reference, okay? So it's not actually going to attach to your project, so that's good to know. I'm actually going to grab these at present and just move them over here just so they're out of the way. So we're only going to be putting an image on the front of our shirt. So first of all, what I need to do is I need to go and figure out what's going to go on here. And I don't want it to be too big. I've decided that 10 centimeters should be enough. So I'm going to go to images, and I'm going to type in here pencils. I've already used it before, so that's good. And we're just going to scroll down until I find the pencils that I like, and it was these ones here. Okay, so they've now been added to my template. Now with these pencils, you can just go up here and see where the writing is. So what we're going to do is where the text has come up, we're just going to press on this little I, and that's going to get rid of it, so we don't see that writing, because I actually don't want to see that writing. I just want this on its own. If you look at it, you'll see up here it's a basic cut is what this image is set at, and because we're going to be doing sublimation, we don't want it as a basic cut. We want to change this to a print then cut. Okay, see how it's changed my image now to a print then cut? But even though it's like that, now let's just close this and I'll just zoom in and I'll show you what I mean. Even though I have made my image like that, if I don't flatten this image, it's going to cut out each individual color. Okay, so we need to grab it and we need to flatten. Okay, so now that is one flattened image. It's going to cut each individual piece out still, because there's actually one more step that we have to do in order to make it a complete image. So what I want to do is I want to put my lettering in here. So I'm going to go back to my monogram. I think we'll just stick with the same one. Let's pick up the same one. Okay, let's use that. This is our monogram here. And I only want to use, I think I only want to use the inside of it. So if I go to contour, and I go hide all contours, and we just keep our inside, get rid of that one that's come up. Yes, that's better. That shrunk that down, because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do an offset on this, a very small offset, but I am going to add an offset to it. So I'm going to go up to here and click offset, and I think we're going to, yeah. So that is what we're actually going to use for our image to go on the inside, and I'm going to go apply. Now I don't want that color. You can see that my offset color is black. I don't want that to be that, and we need to change it. So we need to go to here and we need to change it to a print and cut, and I need to change the color because I want that background color to be the same. So I'm going to click on this. So this is the color that I'm going to use for my lettering. And if you look on your panel here, you've got print and cut, basic cut. So you can either manually change them or clicking on here and just going print and cut like so, and it turns it into a print and cut. Or you can do it another way, which is, and I'll just put it back to what it was, is you highlight them both like so, and I'm going to go attach. You always attach them, and then I'm going to flatten. So now my image is flattened. So when it goes to flatten, it goes print then cut. Okay, so I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. This is purely so that I can see how my letters are going to fit inside. We're going to shrink it all back down again, so don't worry. So I'm just going to kind of take this to the edge, let's say about there, and I'm just going to size it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it out to as far as the edge of that purple pencil. Okay, to there. So that's the size, that's how it's going to look. Now I'm just going to click on the side of the screen and highlight right through the center, and it's going to collect that image. So you'll see it's got here and here, it's collected those two. It's told me they're too large, we know they're too large. So I'm going to bring my size down, and we worked out it needs to be about 10 centimeters. And if I just hit that, it's going to shrink it down perfectly to that 10 centimeters for me, okay? So that's going to sit roughly about there on our shirt. Now we're going to remember my shirt is black. So when you got a black shirt, you need to have something behind the shirt, or sorry, behind the sublimation in order for it to stick, because it's not going to show on your black. So remember last week we did the offcut with the vinyl, so you're going to do the same thing again, all right? So we've got our image and it's flattened. First of all, we need to attach it. So we've got both those layers attached, right? And now that it's attached, we want to flatten it. So it's one project, okay? Comes as one print then cut. We don't want print then cut, print then cut, print then cut, print then cut. We just want the one print then cut, okay? So that's what we've got now. I want to do an offset. So we're going to click on our image. I'm going to go offset. And this is going to like cut around the outside. Now, when I did this the first time, I'm just going to bring it in and show you what I did, and then you can see, oops, there we go, okay, so I'm just going to apply this for you to see. I think I did it at 1, no, maybe it was 0.1, yep, 0.1, okay, so I'm going to apply this and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to zoom in. Now, you see where the black is in the image, and see how there are little white gaps in the middle. Everywhere that you see that black, actually I'm going to change it to grey just so that it makes it a bit easier. Okay, so everywhere you see that grey on the offset, that is where it is going to cut on your vinyl. I do not want all these little itty bitty things being cut out. So I'm just going to go back now, and we're going to go offset again, but we're going to upsize this offset ever so slightly, and I took it to 1.2, and now when you apply it, you'll see there are no gaps in here. If we put it to the grey so you can see, there are no gaps in there, okay? So we have got our offset, which is our vinyl. We want to right hand click and duplicate, okay? We're going to put that there. So this is the vinyl piece that we're going to cut out. Before we cut this out, you need to change this to a basic cut, and then you need to go down to contour, and you need to take out all these little bits here, because we don't want them to cut all those little itty bits in the middle out, okay? Now I'm going to leave it at this color. It doesn't matter, because this is going to be my piece of vinyl that gets cut off and goes behind this image, okay? But in order for my sticker, or I say sticker because that's what it looks like, in order for this image to cut out without cutting out all these little bits again, we're going to have to go to our print and cut option. We're going to have to change it to a basic cut first, okay? Then we have to go down to contour. We're going to take out these little pieces because we do not want them to cut out. If you don't, it is going to cut them, and it's just frustrating. You don't want that. Okay, and you'll notice when I did the, I changed it to a basic, it's blended in the color. You can't really see what it's doing, but that's okay. You don't need to worry about it. I'm just going to change my color to white. Now there's a reason I do this. I'm also going to pop up another little image for you to see off to the right, and that is when I did not change this to white, what happened when I got to the printing process. Okay, if you don't make this white, it is going to print that color, and I think it was grey. Yes, it was grey, and this is what it looked like, the grey colour. And that's not what I want. I don't want my pencils to be like that. I want it to be white. I don't want it to be anything in between, okay? So I'm going to have it as white. So now we've got that offset. We need to attach the whole thing to make it one project, one piece, like we did here. So we need to click attach, and then we need to click flatten, and then when you go up here, see, there's one setting, print then cut, just for that, okay? And we're going to then send that over to our machine and print it out. This is our vinyl piece that we're going to cut with, and you'll notice it's on basic cut because it's vinyl. This one here is another vinyl with another vinyl, another vinyl, another vinyl, another vinyl. Now this vinyl we don't need now, we can actually get rid of that. So these are the ones we're going to be cutting out. And where it says attached, that's just my hat. So if I hit the eye, the hat disappears. Okay, so then we can just see these are our layers. This is what we're working with. And they all say basic cut, which is perfect because it's exactly what we want to do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our machine and we're going to hit make. Okay, so we've gone over to the make option, but now I need to do 6 of these. So up here, if you click this button 5 times, 6 times, and click apply, you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on my mats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we're just going to concentrate on doing our print and cut before we even get on to anything else, okay? So we mirror our image because why? We are sublimating. Okay, so mirror and mirror. All right, so they're all mirrored. Now we're going to go to our basic. This is going to be our vinyl. This is the glitter. It's going to go on the back. And we're going to mirror that also because we are sublimating on it. All right, so we're not going to worry about these at this point. We're going to work with them next. I'm going to click continue. Okay, so we've got into our ready to print it. So make sure you highlight the right one. So I'm going to click print and cut. So see it's got a white box around it that lets you know that that's the item you're going to be working on. Go send to printer. And I am going to choose my 2810. I'm going to leave my bleed on and I'm going to use my system dialog. I'm going to go print. And over here, make sure I've got the right printer and preferences. Change it to my Epson matte. I find it prints so much better on the matte setting. And I put it on high. And then I click OK. And then I click print. And then I send that over to my printer. And as that is printing, we're going to get ready to do the next step. Okay, now we've done that, we are going to put our image on our mat, and we need to make sure that the image looks like it does in this picture. So this is your mat and you want your image to look like this. You're going to put it onto your mat and you're going to place it into your machine. I then click copy paper because I find that this cuts best. And I'm going to click remember material setting just for these print and cut options. I'm going to go down to here, I'm going to load it into my machine, and then I'm going to press the go button and it's going to cut all that out, and we're going to see what that looks like. So let's go over and do that. Okay, so that's all done. So now we're going to be working on our glitter vinyl. So this is the glitter vinyl here, which is on our mat. We've already put our material onto the mat and we're about to put it into the machine. So we're going to go up to here and we're going to first turn remember material settings. We're going to turn that off because we're only going to be printing off this vinyl. We're going to click on where it says base material, and I'm going to go browse, and I'm going to type in here, because this is glitter, I'm going to type in glitter. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you some options. So I have got glitter iron-on is what I'm using. So I'm going to click on that and click done. And it's going to tell you to make sure your mirrors turn on. So if you accidentally forget to do this, don't worry, Cricut lets you know that this is what needs to be done. And I'm going to go down to here and it says mirror is on, so that's fine. And so now what we're going to do is make sure my fine point blade is in my machine. I'm going to load my mat and then I'm going to let it cut this out, and then we're going to come back once that is done. Okay, so that's all done. That's all cut out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to these basic cuts. Now, I've got too many set up. I don't need 6 in this. I actually only need 3 of each. So I'm just going to click my cancel button. And I'm going to go back to where I started. I'm going to just drop this back to 3 and click apply. And what it's going to do is it's going to edit it. So you're going to see now there are 3. 1, 2, 3 on this mat. There are 1, 2, 3 on this mat, 1, 2, 3, and then finally 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I know that my dark green one, that is my glitter, and my lighter color is my puffy. Now we are also working with HTV, so mirror. So I'm going to turn all my mirrors on now. And last one. Okay, and I'm going to click continue. Now, it doesn't matter where you are in your building process or cutting out process. You can start anywhere in this section. So I can pick any of these mats and work my way down. We've already done our print and cut, so we're going to ignore those. We've already done our glitter vinyl backing, so we're going to ignore that. So we're just going to click on this. So when you click on it, you'll notice a white background comes up. So you know you've collected it. This one here is our glitter. So I'm going to go up to here and I'm going to go browse all materials again. I'm going to type in glitter. Oops, I spelled that wrong. There we go. Okay, glitter, and I'm going to click glitter iron on and done. And so it's going to remind me to do my mirror, which I've already done, and I'm leaving it at the default pressure. So I'm going to put it into my machine. I'm going to let this cut out, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, so that's all cut out. Now we are going to go down to our next one, which is our puffy. Now, our mirror is on because we are going to be doing heat transfer. It is not glitter that we are working with. You can either just go down to the next one instead of adjusting your settings and then stick that through the machine and do your glitter, or you can edit it as you go. I've already cut both of these out, so I've cut both of my glitters out already. So now I'm onto the puffy, so I'm just going to go straight into this, and I'm going to click on where it says my base material. I'm going to browse. I'm just going to type in heat transfer, and I'm choosing heat transfer non-Cricut and done. And I'm going to change the pressure from default to less, just because we're working with puffy material and I don't want it to cut it out wrong. And I'm going to pop it through my machine, and then we're going to come back once those are both done, and hopefully we're going to be ready to the next step, which is putting it all together. All right, so let's go. Alrighty, so we are over at my press and we have got it on the hat setting, and I have a little bit of trouble with the green glitter for some reason. It just doesn't want to behave itself, but the purple is really good. We have no problems at all with that. It goes on nicely, 165 seconds for 20 seconds in a hot peel, and it comes off without any issues. So I lint roll between, tape it down, and just have real problems with this green one. It eventually does come out nice, but I have to do a cold peel, not a hot peel, because it just won't stick if you pull it off whilst it's hot. So I'm just going to do one more for you. We're going to do that purple one. Cold peel, and they came up lovely. Alright, now we're over at my bench, and I'm just putting my heat press on medium, and that is for the puffy. And this stuff looks gorgeous when it starts to puff up. So I start by taping it down first, and I try not to put too much tape on, because I feel when I put too much on, holding it tight, the carrier sheet's not able to pull away properly, and that's when it doesn't work. So I just get my rag and put it down so I don't burn myself. And here we go. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. Now I'm going to do my purple one and place my tape and press it. Now, once again, I don't know why this purple just wants to be a pain. So I had issues with the green doing the glitter, and now I'm having issues with the purple doing the puffy. But I mean, it wouldn't be a tutorial if we didn't have problems and things happening along the way. So I'm showing you my issues, and maybe you have comments on how you're able to deal with problems like this when it comes up. Puffy and I have had our love-hate relationship. Sometimes we work nicely, sometimes we just do not. And these ones here, they seem to come out a lot nicer. Not quite sure why. I'm doing a very light pressure. I'm not actually putting a lot of pressure on this at all, just pressing lightly and rubbing it back and forth. So I'll just let you see me finish doing these, and then I'll come back to you once we're done. Okay, so I've converted my heat press back to its original settings with its plate back on and its hover plate back on. I can do a quick video if anyone is interested on how I convert my heat press back and forth. But I'm just lint rolling, and I've taken the moisture out. So I've lined up my piece, and I'm just going to get a Teflon sheet and place that on, and I'm going to press this at 165 for 15 seconds, and then I do a hot peel. So take the moisture out, lint roll, put on my glitter, press, hot peel, and I let this cool down. So I put this to the side before I get to the sublimation stage, because I actually want it to be cool before I press on that sublimation paper. I actually have a leftover one, so I decided let's do a pink shirt. So I pop it on there and hot peel. Right, these have cooled down. Now I decide I'm going to try out this adhesive spray that I had bought. You'll notice as I spray, I actually get some on the shirt, and realizing later that was a mistake, but I put it in and it just doesn't do what I want it to do. It starts to bleed out, and so I decide to put my pressure up, turn my timer up, leave it in for longer, and pop my heat up. it does a better job that time. So I do another one, spraying it again and applying it, but my heat's gone up to 210. I do it for 45 seconds this time. And I'm going to let that one peel off cold. This one I decide, right, I'm just going to flag the glue and I'm just going to go straight in with my tape because I never have issues with my tape. And you'll see that smoke when you pull it away. That's actually the sublimation ink transforming into a gas after it has bonded with your fabric. And so that's what that smoke is, and that's a good sign. That's the way you know that your product's working. And I have to faff around with this a little bit because I actually cut this wrong, but that's okay. It does what I want it to do. And that's great. And we're down to our last shirt now, and then we will explain what it was like after. Okay, so here are our results. This is our first shirt that we did with this self-adhesive spray, which we thought we'd give a go rather than using the tape all the time. And the results for that, as you can see, if you look at it, there are bits where the colour has bled and it's sort of a little bit patchy in spots. And if I lift it up for you to have a bit of a better look, so you can see some of the gluey residue that's actually on the shirt itself, and there's like patches where the colour didn't quite take and it bled here and here. So I don't know if it was my application of the tacky spray, whether that's the reason that happened, I'm not sure, but I tried it again and I will show you the shirt that I've tried it with. I've just let it cool down. So I thought rather than peeling it hot this time, I'll peel it cold. So I'm going to peel it on camera for you and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so that's what the back of it comes up. So you'll see it's almost like the colour actually doesn't come off of the carrier sheet wherever the sticky residue is. So I don't know if this helps or not. Looking at our shirt, well, the coverage is pretty good. Like, there doesn't seem to be any issues. We've got a bit of an alignment issue there. That could be purely my fault, the way I placed it. Other than that, it looks really good. And notice how bright those colors have come out, and that is using the glitter vinyl. I am so impressed with that. So we're just going to go through them. So that's the one that it worked okay, not overly great, but it did work. Then we've got this one. This one here, I didn't use the offset. I made it a little bit larger, and so you can see the pencils a little bit more, and that's quite cute. I like that. Again, bit of glue on the top, which we'll probably have to try to get off later. But other than that, the colors look lovely, really vibrant. This is our next shirt. Again, it's really bonded in there into that glitter layer. That offset is a little bit off on this one. I can see maybe I should have done it smaller if I didn't want to see the white, but I mean, looks good. I'm happy. And then this one here, I changed that offset like I said, and I made more of a larger offset, and you can actually see the separation in the pencils. And in this one, I turned my bleed off, so it actually gave us a real defined, and I feel like this was probably the best one because all your pencils, they all line up nicely. The bleed was turned off, so I don't have any bleeding in here, and nothing's crossing over. So I'm quite happy with that one there. That made a big difference, leaving the bleed off for that one. And then we've got this one here, and again I left the bleed on so you can see the difference. So see how the pencils are touching here because the bleed is on and the bleed was off on that, so you get the separation. So let me know which one you think you like better, the one with the bleed on or the bleed off. That's what those two look like. When I left the bleed on, however, the border that you get on this one, you get the same border here, but you don't get the definition in the middle of the pencils. So that's the only letdown with that. But the color coverage, really good. And these I all did as a hot peel. I didn't leave them and cool peel them. I just did them as a hot peel. And of course I had one left over, so I decided I'd do a pink shirt, you know, because you just can't help yourself but do pink. And so I did another one on my pink shirt, and look how lovely that is. Look how I did miss a piece here, and I think that was because when I printed it out, I actually ripped that corner, so that's missing, but that's all right. Other than that, it's really nice. Those colors with that shining glitter is gorgeous. Okay, so let's go and get our hats now. I'm actually going to start with this hat first, because this is the very first hat that I did, and the glitter went on amazingly, and I'll pop a video up here showing you as I'm pressing the glitters on. They went on superbly using my heat press as a hat press. When I went to press my, you'll see that there's a little bit of stippling. So this one's bubbling here, and it's not as smooth as I would have liked it to have been. It's on, which is nice, but the effect's not as good. So what I actually did is, instead of putting it in the press, I went to doing it by hand, and then I'll pop up here this little bit of me doing it by hand, and the difference. Look how much more puffier that came out just doing it using my small mini press. So they're very different in style. You can see this is more flat image. This one you can tell the image is definitely more raised. Each time I did it, I kind of perfected my art. I realized that the less I press, the more puffy it would go. So this is the pink one. I did have a few issues with this. The purple. The purple didn't quite puff up as well as I thought it would, and I don't know if it's a manufacturing problem or whether it's a me thing, but it puffed, just not as much as like the green did. Like the green, it really puffed up. Like you can see it's raised, nicely raised there. And then if you compare it, say, with the raise on this one, there is a raise, but it's not as high as the raise on that one. Not sure if that's because the color's brighter, I don't know. But yeah, they turned out really good. Here's another one. This is another purple one, sorry, that I did. And you can see like it's bubbled in some areas really nicely, and then some areas it didn't bubble much at all. When it comes to working with Puffy, it is purely a hit and miss, but I really like them. I think they came together nice. And if you look at this last one, I did mess it up slightly here. When I pressed it wrong, and so it kind of twisted to the side, but that's okay. I'm going to just give that another quick press, and hopefully that's going to hold that down. But that bubbled up really well. Like, look at the puff on there. So that is our results for our hats, and I'm really happy with those. Those came out amazing. Wow, how awesome was that? I absolutely loved doing this. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed playing with all the different materials, all the different mediums, applying them, showing you how my heat press works, how the neat little functions that come along with it. Really enjoyed teaching you a few tricks about when you're working with sublimation and how to do your offsets and all those things in Cricut Design Space. I also enjoyed the fact that we were able to learn something new by working with glitter, vinyl and Puffy. Now I hope you learned something, because I know that I did. I really enjoyed putting this project together for you to see. Thank you so much for sitting down and watching this episode. I really had fun, and I hope you enjoyed it and you want to come back and watch more. So please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that little bell, because that will remind you when I pop in a new video, and I do try to publish at least once a week. So thank you again. I really appreciate you all. Continue crafting, people, and we will see you in our next episode. Bye.